seeing a more outrageous effort. It's
while doing it,
right
holding firearms, doing an open carry, which that in itself, the open carry is a good thing, but running around chanting, you want to kill cops, that's not something we want to see. Right. When you saw the other gun groups that Jakari, knows and hangs out with and goes on marches with them, when they go out, it's not about killing cops. It's about, hey, this is our constitutional right, and we're going to open carry.
Right.
And then, when we have the groups in Spokane protesting about the police military buildup there, and then the sheriff hides and goes on vacation, doesn't want to talk to anybody. See, we're trying to open dialogue with people. We're trying to educate people. We're not hiding anything.
Right.
Why does the Army have to hide this stuff? Yeah. Why are they so afraid of just coming out and saying, look, we've been told by the feds that, the returning vets are the problem. So we really have to come after you. They're not admitting that, and it's knowledge. It's what they've said. The Homeland Security has written about it.
They're the ones that are sending us the documents. That's who is providing these documents to us, and we are merely putting out other news reports, local news that is reporting on the militarization of the police, or these are government documents.
This is 121 pages long about how to round up people.
Right.
How to round up civil disturbance operations. And it's in the continental United States. It says it on the document. You can read it.
It says there, no warning shots will be fired.
Check out these articles. It gives you a good breakdown of it. And then you can go read the whole document for yourself, do word searches for it. I mean, look at all this stuff. Look at the Stability Police Force for the United States, written by the Rand Corporation back in 2010. And this was commissioned, incidentally, prepared for the United States Army. This is for a Stability Police Force for the United States, prepared for the United States Army. Do you people get it? Right. Do you get it? This is what it's for. It's for us. The Army is going to be training to come after us.
Exactly. And that's another thing that's been really upset me about this. When we come back, Joe Biggs is going to be joining us in studio to kind of push back against that rhetoric that saying that this is coming from people who we aren't familiar with why they would be doing these drills and training. We don't know. But you know what? We're going to get Joe Biggs in here, and I'm pretty sure he is familiar with how and why they do conduct these training exercises. So coming up after the break, we'll be in studio with Joe Biggs.
INFOWARS Life and INFOWARSLife.com is extremely excited to announce our latest release, Winter Sun, a revolutionary type of vitamin D3. Winter Sun is a premium quality vitamin D3 nutritional supplement. It is produced by extracting oil from healthy, nutrient-dense plants known as lichens. Every batch is analyzed for purity and D3 content. It's completely free of toxins and allergens. Simply put, if you want the best at an extremely low price, this is it. Winter Sun is the result of our pursuit of the best source of vitamin D3. The research and development took over 2 years, but the result, as verified by independent laboratories, is the best vegan vitamin D3 product in the world. Read the facts at InfoWarsLife.com about Winter Sun Vitamin D3. Not only does vitamin D3 promote a healthy mood, but vitamin D supports our memory and brain function, something the globalists are targeting. Visit InfoWars.com today or call 888-253-3139. The knowledge of the ancients, tried and true, trusted herbs and extracts fused with the latest nutraceutical science. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. For the last 2 years, our team has been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to develop the ultimate nutraceutical formulation. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. For a limited time, get 25% off on this introductory offer. Visit AncientDefense.com or call 888-253-3139. AncientDefense.com.
For many of the police and guard troops, it is an uncomfortable job to do this in an American city.
Walking up and down these streets, you don't want to think about the stuff that you're gonna have to do. Somebody pops around the corner.
Let me shoot in America.
Yeah.
So that was a National Guardsman in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina saying just what he might have to do on the streets there in New Orleans, fire upon an American citizen. Now, joining us now in studio is returning veteran, a domestic terrorist, in fact, Joe Biggs.
Watch out, I'm your #1 threat.
Exactly. Now, I want to kind of push back against this new PSYOP that's being pushed out there. This is also in the initial Vice article that's attacking us conspiracy theorists. Now, this is Paul Floyd. He's a former Army Ranger and senior military analyst at Stratfor. Now, he's calling the theory ludicrous, and he tells Vice News that U.S. soldiers would likely be unwilling to ever institute martial law on their fellow citizens. He says, every person I worked for in the military took an oath to defend the Constitution, so without any pretext or serious reason to do so, imposing martial law in places where soldiers are from would absolutely generate blowback. So this is something that they're really kind of pushing out there now, is that, oh, well, we took this oath to uphold the Constitution, so they would never fire upon American
Didn't the president
citizens.
do that? How's that been working out?
Yeah, exactly. So this is what they're kind of putting out there to quell the concern with that the military is training.
I mean, we've been saying this for a long time, though. We're not saying that, we're not putting this on the backs of the soldiers. We know that these low privates, they're not the ones who are going to go out and do it. The big thing is the distinction between a training exercise and something really happening. That's part of the whole overall PSYOP, is it's going to confuse the hell out of people at the end of the day. You know, you start seeing helicopters flying around every day, and all of a sudden you start hearing guns going off. Is it a training exercise? Is it not? Your wall comes knocking down. MRAP comes driving in. How do you know when it's a training exercise, and how do you not know? That is a PSYOP. Right. I'm not saying that soldiers are going to do that. I don't believe that at all, because all my friends I talk to on a daily basis, they back what we're doing here. A lot of them are going to be getting out soon because they think that what's going on is extremely corrupt. I've got a buddy in SOCOM who contacted me the other day who says, I can't wait to I got another year to go, and I'm going to get away from this as much as possible.
I think that's a problem, though. We need good people in the Army. We don't need, which is sad that they're being pushed out, because, and with the purge going on, with all the generals and admirals being, let go by Obama. I mean, you've got the guys that aren't following orders that are questioning things. And you told me yourself, you told me today that they tried to push you into an area it just mentally of, you don't ask questions, you just do what you're told.
Oh yeah, when I was a young private, I've always been someone who questions things. When someone tells me something, I like to find out a little bit more info about it so I can make a good sound decision on the thing. Right. In the Army, when you do that, you're looked down upon. Right. You're frowned upon. They don't want people who think, people who make good, smart decisions. And this is in conventional Army, regular, Joe Schmo doing PT every morning with his little belt on. They want people who are just going to shut up, not think for themselves, and follow orders.
Right, and we see that as well with local law enforcement, hiring people that have a specific IQ and not going above it because they're more likely to take orders. And this is, of course, the danger of having a standing army, because a standing army could be used to follow the orders of whoever's in control.
Well, high-ranking NCOs in the military, officers, use psychological operations against soldiers. Mm-hmm. I know this. Right. I've got buddies who've gone on training missions, coming back after a week or whatever, and like, man, all they did was tell us how to basically screw with privates' heads, so they would have essentially just follow the orders we give them, regardless of what it was. And then they do stupid little things to mess with kids. They make them go out and look for these invisible items that never exist, or have them go take exhaust samples. Just because it's funny, they get off on it. It's a PSYOP. Like, oh yeah, go get an exhaust sample. That'll be so hilarious. And the kid is just following orders. He goes and he's holding a plastic bag to an exhaust on a huge truck, not knowing what's going on. That's what they do. They're screwing with the guy. So when it happens, how do they know when it's happening? Like we said, in Katrina, they send these guys out here, 82nd Airborne, out there, walking around with live ammunition, taking guns. How do we know, as American citizens, that that's not going to happen again? Right. That's all we're doing, is questioning what we've seen in the past and what could happen in the future, because there's a lot of civil unrest going on. Ferguson, all these little riots that are picking up all over the place. People are pissed off. People are starting to wake up, and that's what's scaring the government. We're not promoting violence. We're not saying anything at all. All we're saying is look behind the narrative they're giving to you, because sometimes it's a little bit more than what you see.
Right.
We're saying, why does Homeland Security have targets that look like citizens, like ladies, old ladies, pregnant women with a gun, little kids? Right. I mean, those are the kinds of questions we should be asking as a culture, not whether Texas and Utah are bad states, or if the feds are and with the Army are doing these exercises, then we should be worried about them. But back in 2009, I was in the G20 in Pittsburgh. We actually went to the Air National Guard base there to say, hey, you guys say you're having some National Guard. How many are going to be out running security for the G20? and we were totally shut down. We were told to leave. We left. Then they went and contacted the Allegheny County Sheriff's Department, who contacted the rental car company and got our phone numbers through that, started calling us up saying, hey, you guys need to come out and meet us. We need to change out your car. They were disguising themselves as the rental car company to get us to go out there. And then when we didn't fall for it, we're like, well, the city's shut down. We can't leave. They said, oh, well, we're actually the Sheriff's Department. We think you guys might be terrorists. Oh. For going up there, driving up with credentials saying, hey, we just want to ask a couple questions. That's it. That's how they treat anybody who, that's why they're going after you guys. Because anybody who asks a question must be stomped down, must be told they're bad, must be, you know, just vilified in front of everybody now. Like, this is nationwide now, this vilification that's going on. And it's all because, you know, I sent you that document, you looked at it, you go, this is bad.
See, but the funny thing is, though, is they go, these operators will be conducting suspicious activity. Now, when me and Josh go on all these, you know, little adventures, we go out and report at places, who are the first people that mess with us? We're out investigating. The cops come up, harass us, stop us, detain us for what they say, suspicious activity. We're doing the same thing. Why are we in the wrong for seeing something that looks very suspicious and questioning it?
Right.
Yeah. And they're attacking us on all fronts because we're over the target.
Yeah.
When you're over the target, they fire at you, and they're firing with all cylinders. They're coming at us with everything they got because they know we're exposing what's going on. And what we need to have is every American right now, if you know these operations, where they're going to be, you need to call those counties. You need to call them and say, hey, you don't need to allow this. You don't have to accept this invitation for this Jade Helm 1-5 exercise. Because I'm going to tell you right now, from being in the military, we have a ton of operational facilities where training can be conducted on military soil. That's where it should be done.
And you guys went to AP Hill, where it was set up as an American town with American signage, all in English.
Right. Yeah, so there's churches.
So they can prepare to come after us through this instead of working with the local authorities.
Yeah, like I said, you train how you fight. You're going to train in an area that's going to be similar to your theater of operation. And when we go to these training facilities in North Carolina and Virginia, and we look, and the area that they're training for is a church.
Yeah.
A soccer field, an underground subway, fire station, all these different places, that has to start setting off alarms in your head. You don't have to be that awake to understand what's being trained for. Now, they can try to bash us all they want. I'm not going to take that. It's a psyop. I talked to a buddy at SOCOM down in Florida, clearly stating that it is a psychological operation going on. It's going to be used to condition American citizens to be used to this, to desensitize them to all this crap going on.
And if you question it, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, exactly. There's no problem with questioning stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think also, too, to acclimate our military to train to operate in the area where they're going to conduct these.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole thing.
They're now getting in their mind that, oh, I'm not fighting in Iraq.
I'm going on a wellness check.
Yeah.
I'm going on a wellness check. I'm not gun confiscation. I'm just making sure everybody's okay.
But you got to be, the thing is, though, is when you ask a soldier straight up, hey, would you ever take part in something like that? Would you ever take part in a martial law operation? They're all going to look at you and go, no. But what's going to happen is a psyop that's worked by these high-ranking people in the military when they tell the troops, oh, no, we're just going to go do a training exercise. We're going to go do that. It's a wellness check. We're going to go do this and that. These guys don't know. And then all of a sudden the orders come down. Oh, well, this is part of the training. These guys already know. They're part of an Op4, which is an operation. It's basically a bunch of guys who are pretending to be bad guys. So they're going to be like, oh, these guys are Op4. It's okay. You can go ahead and detain them, put zip ties on their arms, throw them to the ground. It's okay. It's part of the training. Meanwhile, this person's like,
they're role players. They're going to act like they don't want it. You got to make sure they, they're going to be really acting really well.
Yeah, make it believable.
Because they've done exercises like this where they go, I'm an American, don't put me in the camp.
But what happens when it's a real home where there's a family not knowing this is going to happen?
Right.
And the higher-ups are telling the soldiers, hey, no, it's just a training exercise. These guys are really good actors. They're screaming and kicking. That's part of the whole thing. These guys are actors.
Exactly.
They know what's going on. And next thing you know, it's something real. It's not a training exercise. We're not saying that that's what's happening. We're saying that it's very possible based off of things we've seen in the past, because history tends to repeat itself.
Yep. And 9/11, actually, if you go back and listen to the air traffic control tapes, when it first starts happening, they're reporting that there's hijacked planes. Somebody comes on and goes, is this part of the drill? And they go, no, this is not a drill. They were running a drill that day of planes being hijacked and flown into buildings.
Coincidence?
Wasn't that Dick Cheney in charge of that? NORAD?
Oh, we'll never know. Yeah. We'll never know who was really in charge.
That's the thing. That's crying wolf.
Exactly.
Right.
And you do it enough, you get people conditioned.
Yes, people get confused. They don't know how to react. And then lives can be lost. People will get hurt because someone's going to go, oh, these guys are just playing around. It's just a training exercise. Meanwhile, people are being hurt.
Right. And then this is something, a statement about dangers of a standing army. when the president issues an order, the soldier isn't going to reflect on